Fiancee exploded when I dumped her and now she's unhappy with AP and cries to me. Oh, I got one here. About 5 years ago, I met this girl at a friend's house party. I didn't think she was interested in me at all, but about halfway through the evening she took my phone and added her number in. The next day we met up to go to the beach, and the relationship took off. The days and months progressed, and we fell in love with each other, and I stupidly told her about my past playing around. I did this because I did not want her to hear these things from other people, especially that we have a friend in common, and I wanted to be upfront about my past. In 2019 I found a job in a different country, and I decided to leave, and the plan was that she would follow me within 6 to 8 months. That didn't happen because she got tied up finishing a few things back home, and in the meantime she started moving her things to my new place each time we met. We were meeting about once or twice a month and things were fine as we always went on vacations together, and was thinking to myself that I have found someone to love deeply who would love me back, and I was happy with that. For the first time in my life I was happy being with someone. Now since I left we had established some rules because she was the jealous type that I wouldn't have any new female friends, and that I would not give my number to any female. So I told her, well, if I was going to do that then you also are not allowed to do the same, which she agreed to and things progressed. Last February we went on a quick 4 days vacation before the lockdown hit, and when we both returned to our homes we were stuck. Some issues started happening at work due to the economy being screwed, and they were laying off a substantial number of people, while some got unpaid leaves and some got salary deductions. I was lucky enough to keep my job, but that placed me in a stressful situation that I was not myself, and my fiancée, now fiancé since I engaged her on one of our trips in August 2019, noticed that I was being a bit distant. Before her birthday last August, she was at a mutual friend's house party, and she vanished the entire night, and only texted me when she went home late at night. The next morning she was telling me how much she had fun and blah blah blah, and told me that some girls in the party invited her to a boat party, and that she would like to go. Now I am a trusting person, I told her that sure you can go and have fun, it was her birthday right. That night again she vanished and I didn't hear anything from her the entire day, which was weird and strange, because she normally doesn't do that. Anyways, I got suspicious after the next day she again went out with some of the girls she met at the boat party and also vanished. Now my suspicions were amplified, but I didn't have any proof. So I decided to play a bit of a game to test the waters, and see what her reaction would be. So I started telling her that since it's lockdown and we don't know when we will see each other again, maybe you should have some fun there, and that I wouldn't mind her if she had sex once at least to fulfill her needs since I am not there. To my shock she agreed, so I probed a bit more by asking her if she has someone in mind, and she said she did. Then I probed more asking like who is he, have you met, and such, and she confessed she had a crush on the guy, but I wanted to know more. So after a while she spilled the beans, and I found out that the guy is married to a friend of mine, and they have a child together. She told me that she met him in May, the time when I was down, and he was giving her attention that I was not giving, and she gave him her number, and they have been texting. He invited her to the boat party, and they spent the entire time together on the boat. Then they went for a lovely dinner afterwards where she promptly gave him a handjob from under the table, which she never done for me, and later went up to his room with a bunch of other people and she and him kissed. And the next day she met him again with a bunch of other people, but she doesn't remember, because she drank too much and passed out on his bed while she was there. At this point my entire life came crashing down. I could not believe the person who told me they loved me day and night would be capable of doing that. That soon turned to anger, so I contacted my friend and told her about what her husband and my fiancé were doing, and provided her with proof, contacted my fiancé, and sent her a picture of her stuff before they were shipped by cargo, and I simply walked. What nailed it for me was the look in her eyes when I told her that if she wanted she can go duck him, and I would be okay with it. That made me realize that love is just a facade, and I don't know if I will love again, or if I am capable of loving again. Only time will tell. This also made me realize that even if you are with someone for 5 years, you still don't know everything about them, which is sad. Sorry for the long post. The breakup happened 2 months ago, and at first it was hard, but time is a wonderful thing. Lets you move forward and forget. And Vane, if you are reading this, smiley face. Go duck yourself. Edit 1. So Vane contacted me through a new number and asked if she would call me. I wanted to hear what she said, so I said okay. We reconnected on Zoom and we had a long conversation. During this conversation, her eyes were dark. I assume from lack of sleep, and mostly she was complaining how much the salary cannot cover her basic expenses, to which I replied that I guess now you have to manage your expenses in a better way. Then she asked me if I am willing to give it another chance, and that she would do anything to make it up for me, anything I want. She even went far enough to suggest that I would be allowed to sleep with other women, and she would be okay with it, and that I can name my price, and she will do anything just to have me back. So I asked her why suddenly she changed like that, but she wouldn't tell me any valid answer, so I moved on. Then she started begging me again if I can forgive her and give her an opportunity to prove to me how much she loves me and to make it up to me. So I told her that we are past that, and that my issue is that what she did was humiliating because all I gave her was love, and I took care of her with everything. I never spared an expense. We went on expensive vacations that I all paid for, and I was cool with it because I loved her. I told her that going back is not going to work for me because it doesn't matter how much she changes, I will never ever get that image out of my mind. I told her that I gave her everything and she basically took me for granted, and there are consequences for everything. I told her you could have had everything, but now you are going to be stuck in a dead-end job, alone, but I told her I really hope that she meets someone good for her, and that she takes care of herself. I said her future is not with me. And that she made a decision and that she made her bed and now she has to lay in it. Then I told her that this will be the last time we talk and good luck in your future. Then she exploded in my face telling me that the only reason she cheated was because she thought I was cheating and she didn't want to be a fool. I told her if you thought I was cheating you could have asked me, and I would have done anything to prove to you that I was not, to which she accused me of ducking around with multiple women while I was with her, to which I denied and asked if she has proof. She said she doesn't have proof, but she had a feeling because I became distant. I told her I was depressed because I was going to lose my job, and if I lost my job we won't have enough money for us to start a family soon. That's what was keeping me up all night. She replied saying that I am lying and it's all bullcrap, and that her friends told her that I was cheating because it's too good to be true. The last communication was that I told her please don't contact me again. Getting Vane, go duck yourself. We have reached the end of the story. Let's listen to some of the comments by our Reddit listeners. Comment 1. You know she's going to go wild screwing anyone and everyone because she's now single. The moment she's able to fly back, she is going to be crying and saying how sorry she is. How she was drunk and wasn't thinking right because she was lonely and stressed due to the pandemic, and how the other guy was manipulating her. Pretty much she's going to present herself as the victim in the situation. Seriously man, if you can get her into giving back the ring, take it back. Sell that crap and use the money to plan a solo vacation or something. Don't let her profit on her betrayal. However, if you feel like there's a chance you might forgive her, if you see her then forget the ring and block her on everything. When she returns, let her know she has a week to drop off the ring at a mutual friend's house. Tell her if she fails to comply or if she tries to contact you, you will post everything you have on social media exposing her for the trash she is. OPE reply. Oh dude, thanks for this message. Made my day. Unfortunately she refused to give me the ring back, so I told her to keep it, but I don't want to see her again, and she won't be able to see me again. She doesn't know where I live since I moved apartments recently, and I blocked her everywhere. I don't want to see her, and I don't want anything to do with her. She already tried to beg me to work things out, but no way will I let someone like that in my life. I did so much for this girl, and she didn't appreciate or was faithful. So she can go her separate way and become someone else's problem. I am just glad I followed my gut feeling and caught her. Life is simpler now, more lonely, but I would take that any day over deception, lies, and cheating. For now I don't think I am able to believe anyone or trust anyone for a while. I hope it changes, as I don't want to meet someone amazing and for me to screw it up over this. Comment 2. It's good to hear that you're moving on. The first few months are tough, but after that if you're doing the right things, blocking, etc., it gets easier as time goes on. Continue doing that and keep on going forward. Lastly, if you don't mind, but after your friend's husband, and have you heard anything from your GF? I remember when something similar happened to me, and I think it was 4/5 months later that my ex came back wanting to work things out. LOL. OP reply. Well, my friend didn't appreciate me telling her what her husband and my ex were doing because she didn't want to ruin her marriage. But I had to tell her because she had the right to know what happened. My ex did try to talk to me to try to sort things out, but I am not going to be taken as a fool a second time. There are other women out there, and eventually I will find someone. Comment 3. I can't say I condone the whole telling her it's okay to duck someone else just to see her reaction, but it worked, so I'm conflicted, I guess. Either way, I'm glad you did the hard thing and just cut her off. Not many people have the strength to do that. OP reply. I only did it because I had no evidence, just a gut feeling, and there was no other way. If I confronted her, then she would have just lied about it. So I made it look like I was on her side and made her comfortable enough to tell me the truth. When she thought I was okay with it, her eyes lit up. Our paths became separate the moment she did that, and I can only wish her the best in her future, without me of course. And that she goes and ducks herself, she will be someone else's problem. I'm glad she is not my problem. I filed for divorce right and contacted AP after my lying wife cheated like a 403. I'm literally typing this in my car with a bottle of whiskey in the back. We met during college and we hit it off, and after a few years I popped the question, and it was amazing. We later had 2 kids, an 8-year son, 12 years daughter. I always told myself that nobody is perfect, and I loved who we will name my wife Tori. I noticed she was acting cold/distant, and she would always hide her phone. Fast forward 3 weeks and I see a message pop up on her phone from a girl, but the girl does not sound feminine from what I see in the texts. Obviously turns out it wasn't a girl. And it turns out it was one of her coworkers who I know from previous run-ins, and he's married with kids. Everything in my mind is stopping me from going to his house and breaking every bone in his body. I wanted to write to his wife. Fantasized about her confronting my wife, beating the living hell out of her. But then I progressively got more tired of thinking of it and stopped being in fantasy land. Take notice I never laid a hand or anything on my wife, but her betraying me is a literal slap in my face, and it gives me hatred thinking about it all the time. I just want to know where it went wrong, what I should do, and my kids. I don't want my kids to grow up in a broken home. Update. After I posted this, I went to my parents and I told them everything, and they were sad, angry, and heartbroken like I am. I told them to keep it between them until I got all my stuff together, got in touch with a lawyer, and I'm planning on filing divorce on my STB ex-wife Tori, not her real name, and if she is willing to reconcile, I will request she sign a post-nup agreement as some suggested, but I can't guarantee I won't divorce. I'm planning on talking to my kids and telling them a little story, because they're not at an age to understand. Maybe my daughter, but that's for another time. Quick things I have to clear up. Messages. The messages I found from Tori's messages from this supposedly girl is indeed a man, who we will call DB, from her work, as in her messages a few days before when she was not near her phone. I snooped and found flirtatious messages, sexting, lists of hotels, and the biggest hit to my stomach, our house. DB even had the audacity saying in texts that I'm a bad husband who mistreats their wife. Notice this man is married with kids, and as of right now his wife knows nothing cause I didn't tell her yet. My wife is none of the wiser and I'm still taking action, but that's my update so far. We have reached the end of the story. Let's listen to some of the comments by our Reddit listeners. Comment 1. Hand her divorce papers and tell AP's wife on the same day. If you want to reconcile, she has to come crawling on hands and knees. I wouldn't take her back, but this is your marriage and your decision. Comment 2. Bide your time. Gather evidence such as screenshots of inappropriate conversations and any sexting that you can find, and when your wife is served divorce papers, AP's wife should receive the evidence that you have. Your WW and her AP may well end up with each other, but the odds are slim. Don't do anything that can reflect negatively on you in a courtroom. If possible, only interact with your wife when adult witnesses are present. I'm really sorry for your heartache, OP. Comment 3. Where it went wrong is on her end. She did what she did because she wanted to and had the opportunity to. Inform the other man's wife and blindside your own by exposing the affair to family and friends, and having her served with divorce papers. Co-parenting can work. The kids may have two separate homes, but this is a better option than a bitter and combative household.